the condition that I am living in, next to the people I'm living, I'm breathing and all that stuff. I just had to come from the doctor today with all kind of medication from this garbage that I'm inhaling. Not only me, there's a lot of people living in the same condition I'm living in. Are sick. They sick from our surroundings, the garbage and the filth that we are living in.
Amen.
We don't need to live in it. We need to do something and stop talking and stop lying. I'm sick and tired, y'all. A lot of people done come up here and said the same thing, and they going on and home to glory. And ain't nothing still happened. Wake up, wake up. We are killing ourselves. Ooh, have mercy, Lord. Have mercy, Lord.
Mr. Chairman, point of personal privilege for the response of a few people from the North Sewer District.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, I'm Kyle Dreyfus-Wells. I'm with the Sewer District, and I do just want to point out there's a lot of us here. I think there's 6 of us. So you have Allison Schreiber, who's the project manager, Doug Lapata, whose job it is to deliver everything that you saw and more. Joe Jenkins, who you know, Jeff Jowick, who's the watershed team leader, who's specifically assigned to East Cleveland. That is his job. So if you have questions, your own drainage issues, you can talk to Jeff about that. And Angela Jones, who's also in government affairs. So we are here, and the sewer district at least is not going anywhere. We are committed to this project. We will maintain this project. We have a consent decree with the federal government that puts us on the hook to maintain these green infrastructure projects forever. The word perpetuity is in our consent decree, which means forever. So in terms of maintenance, trash, grass cutting, dumping, it's all on us to maintain that. So I just want to emphasize that. Now, specifically to your questions, ma'am, those were great questions, and I really appreciate you raising those issues. Specifically, the issue of mosquitoes. Joe talked about 48 hours for these to drain. If there is a rain event and we get water in them, that 48 hours is specifically determined by the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, as being too short for those mosquitoes to grow. The 48 hours is specific. It takes at least 72 hours for mosquito larvae to hatch, because this issue about mosquitoes comes up a lot, and so these will not have permanent pools of water. And if they do, that means they're not working, and it's our job to fix it. So if there's standing water, that's a trigger that we need to get in there and do some maintenance. So thank you for that question about mosquitoes. It comes up a lot. They're specifically designed to not have mosquito issues. This question about moisture, also great question. I appreciate that. These will only have water in them during a rain event. It'll be raining, so it'll be, 100% moisture all over because it'll be raining. So they will not have a permanent pool of water. And then I'd love to know about the Cleveland Heights question, because we don't have a green infrastructure project in Cleveland Heights, so I'd love to know about that project.
Where's the water coming from?
The
water for this project is coming from Cleveland Heights and Shaker. It's coming downhill. Is that correct?
It is. Doug, do you want to speak to the drainage area for this?
Yeah, it does come from some of those cities, but a lot of it is local to East Cleveland, right? Near Euclid for Page, near Scioto, on Hayden. All those streets that are where the residential properties are, those have separate storm sewers that then drain to these basins. I mean, we can't go too far with these storm sewers, or else it would, it would just get too expensive of a project to go reach into Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights.
Well, why don't we just fix our sewer system? Because I don't want to dump in Ward 4. I don't care what it looks like. We already have a dump in Ward 4. That's a garbage dump. This is a water dump. I don't want another dump.
Okay. Well, I think if we put this committee together, maybe we can look at these more, because it really concerns me that somehow you would think that this is a dump and would characterize it as a dump, because we're really characterizing it as a park and an amenity. So I think we need to talk more. I'd love to have that conversation and maybe show you some of these, because these basins are really amenities all over Northeast Ohio, and so I'd love to keep having that conversation. I think your suggestion about us talking more, showing more things so we can better understand the concern is really helpful for us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're down to council's and mayor's remarks, starting with the anything, water
we just want to say that we're very encouraged and want to show our commitment as the administration to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. We have learned a lot. We're very hopeful that job opportunities can be created in terms of picking up trash, elimination of dumping, grass cutting, so that local hirees could be employed in those efforts, as well as the beautification of the area, the parks, allowing people to come and enjoy the cleaned up environment, as well as the elimination of dilapidated buildings. We're looking forward to having support in terms of some of the demolition that you guys will pay for, apparently, rather than it just being limited to what the county has already allocated for us, and as well as the storm water runoff itself. We're very encouraged by your presentation, and we want to show and indicate our commitment to helping to support you in this effort.
Thank you. Councilman Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There was a lot of dialogue tonight about, much of the dialogue was geared towards the mayor and his role. It's my goal to be a responsible resident, and I thank the residents for bringing not only his role, but our role to the forefront of their concerns. Because as we are representatives of the public, it is our responsibility to be adherent to what it is your goals and needs are for this community. However, it is not and will never be my responsibility to force him to sit down in a chair. I can say whatever I want to say, but if a person thinks wrong, does wrong, wants to do wrong, he or she will do it. All right? So, you know, I can't, again, he sent the designee as the charter does state, and the law director sits in his stead. Whether or not she spoke to his concerns and things tonight, I don't know. She might have texted to her, whatever the case may be. But she's here in his stead as the charter does state. So we have to be acknowledgeable of that. Ms. Stevenson, thank you for your concerns. I hope that the district does follow up with you consistently as it relates to any findings or any adjustments. So they should get your contact information and you should get theirs before they exit. Mr. Holmes asked a question about whether or not this is government or private. Did you want to speak to that for 2 seconds?
We are a governmental entity, so we are the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. And we're distinct, like a library district or a school district. We're under Ohio Revised Code 6119, if you want to fall asleep fast. Ohio Revised Code 6119.
All right, so that was Mr. Holmes' concern. Got you together. As it relates to any form of a recall, you know, there were recalls initiated. Whether or not they will be initiated again is up to the residents of this community. But that's a perfect segue into this annexation, and I will never let it down whether or not I'm sitting on council or not. I am not in support of the annexation conversation. Anyone that does support that doesn't have a goal nor a vision for the city of East Cleveland. Ms. Townsend spoke about prayer. I was raised sort of differently. I believe in prayer. I also believe in a firm upbringing. So not only prayer, but a firm upbringing. So the way I am today is as a result of the way that my mother, who God rest her soul, raised me. And what you see here is hard work and a will to do. I'm 31 years old, having worked in government, education. I've been a dean of students 3 times, been a police officer for 5 years, been a council person. My resume is extensive. I have a resume of a 50-year-old, and I'm proud of it, and can't nobody take that away from me. So as it relates to me and doing the work that I do for this community, I'm going to continue to do what I do for this community and continue to be a positive representation for our young black males and any citizen that chooses to pay attention within the city of East Cleveland. As it relates to the strategic plan for this community, we do need a strategic plan that governs where we should be going. And so projects such as this that Mr. Jenkins so eloquently presented, and his team, and the rest of the sewer district team, we should be able to factor those things in. And I will remind you that we've overstepped, council passed, mayors passed, we've overstepped many, many projects that came before this community as a result of short-sightedness and a lack of vision. Because I don't like it for right now. That one project would have given us 100 employees. That's enough tax revenue to keep, if all of them made $50,000 to $60,000, that's enough tax revenue to keep us afloat. It should a business, dissolved or pulled out. We have not kept consistency within this community. We let the drug era take over, and where were all the voices then?
That's right.
Landlords walk away. Let's get the same fight then.
Amen.
You stand up here and can tell me what I could do and what I should do. Do you get up in the morning, take care of your area, and I'm just speaking in general, this is not a stab to anybody, but do you get up in the morning, take care of your area, take care of your bit of community? Do you not just come to meetings? Meetings are not where the action takes place. I need the action in the community.
Thank you.
Somebody stated about riding at night and riding in their community. I ride Ward 3, Ward 2. I ride them because I have friends in those areas. Yep. So some of the concerns you get up and talk about, Mr. Townsend, I've been on the street. You showed it to me. I reported it. Due to the fact of our capabilities of individuals that get that report. It did not get adhered to. I'm sorry for that. Mr. Wheeler and I will possibly initiate that report again. But as it relates to the commitment to this community, I'm born and raised here, Mr. Jenkins, right? Played in the band, ran track here, graduated here, got a resolution from this council in 2002 for saving a life. Yep. Came back to this community after graduation, only to receive it in a more far worse state than when I left it. Chose to get involved, chose to stay involved even after the situation's changed. You can't find any better person or persons within this community other than that. People who want to be involved. Mr. Jenkins is born and raised in this community and now doing great things, very articulate, a positive role model for young minds in this community. Through your opinion, you chase people away. And we wonder why when people graduate from college, they're gone. The young folk, whether it's black, white, Puerto Rican, I don't care what you are, young people are not staying here because of the lack of imagination, the lack of creativity, and the fact that no one wants to really open doors for people and be supportive. We're all going to make mistakes. Don't think that we won't. I'm not a know-it-all. Right, Mr. Mays? I don't know everything. I don't know what's at Roswell. I don't know who killed Kennedy. Mr. Mays does. But I'm saying, to that effect, I'm saying that you got to support the younger people. And it's all right. We will make mistakes. We will have bumps in the road. But to continue to support us, encourage us will be great. The Battle of the Bands is on Saturday, 6 p.m. at Shaw High School Stadium. Would hope that everybody is in attendance. It's back in East Cleveland. That would be a well-attended event. Mr. Wilson and his team have prepared for that event, and hopefully I can see you guys there. But this is I'll end on this. This is a call to action. Get out here and do something. I know, and I'm not saying that you guys aren't doing anything, but just get out here and do something, and make some type of impact outside of this meeting, because I agree with you. It is a lot of talk.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes my statement.
Thank you. Councilman King.
Thank you, Councilman Wood. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Thank the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District for the presentation. Look forward to more conversations. If I can make a suggestion that you come back in front of council regularly to update us as to what you're working on so far as your plans for East Cleveland, and just don't show up one day and you're on the legislation with an emergency pass this thing, because that's not happening anymore. So if you would, I would just recommend that you come back in advance of you being finished. Kind of let us know what your progress is looking like and what the final contract with the city is going to look like, lot size and jobs and all that. And I just wanted to briefly talk about the demos. As many of you are aware, we've been talking about demos for a couple of years now, and I want to say it was February, March, they started talking about the list that was being worked on with the demos. A lot of you know it's a lengthy process, and many of the houses are owned by people who they can't find. So it takes a while to work through the process in order to demo it. So the list came out May, April. They were actually supposed to start demo on my street in June. It just started Monday, right? And so all my neighbors who have been saying June, it's coming, they finally started. So be patient, and if you need a copy of the list, you can contact the council office or building and housing to get a copy of that list. And if you have a specific address, you know, you can call up to the council office or call building and housing and give them the address, and they'll let you know the status of it, if it's in the pipeline to be torn down or if it's still privately owned, yada yada yada. Just because it's an eyesore doesn't mean we can necessarily tear it down. So that concludes my update.
Councilman Martin, you want to say tonight?
Yeah, briefly. Members of the public, my colleagues, I rise to speak. Ms. Jones, you haven't said anything all night. Would you like to say something briefly? Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Oh yeah, I've been sharing comments back and forth. I have a great team here that have been able to answer the questions.
Thank you. I want to say thank you guys for coming out. I felt the passion of Nicola Stanberry and Miss Townsend. And I feel the passion of the people. I was reading the Constitution the other day, Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, and they talked about government and education. They talked about voting. And I'll say this. If you don't vote, you don't count. Last week I looked at the Civil War. I want you to hear this. 1861, 1865, over 600,000 people died in the Civil War, either to unite the Union or to keep slavery going. It took 100 years later, in 1965, for Dr. King to be a part of passing the Voting Rights Act so everybody can vote. Now, we have 17,000 people in the city of East Cleveland, but we average about 5,000, Ms. Walcott, per vote. So when I hear this, I'm a praying person, it bothers me because you don't have to have a gun to your head, you don't have to pass a poll tax, you don't have to count how many marbles is in a jar to vote. Your vote is your message, your vote is your voice. You're a millionaire when you vote because you have that vote. When you're sitting in this seat, you voted on for the people. I have been elected, I'm the longest serving council, been here for 16 years now. It's about public service. It's not about money in this city. And I think that the biggest disappointment that I feel is the fact that the entities do not work together like they should. We have the head of our government pushing annexation. That bothers me. But what bothers me even more, Ms. Walcott, Ms. Stanberry, Paul Davis, Tammy, is that we don't step up and do our part. I get up every morning. I stay off Stanwood and Euclid. You know what I do before I go to my car, before I do whatever? I'm picking up stuff. Okay. And someone said that if everybody did that, that would be a step in the right direction. They're looking for someone to do for themselves. There are no more Malcolms. There are no more Martins. It's on us. Okay? If you're not looking, if you have no vision, we do have the land and location. The University Circle does want to come in here, east. But they could have 15 years ago sit down with us and work something out. Okay, but they don't want to. It's a problem with the governance or what? It can be done. It can be done. I am committed to doing my part. 2 days from now, this coming Thursday, the 17th, we're having a candidates forum on the school board. Now, the city's struggling with a $10 million budget, but the school has a $50 million budget. What's more important than the education of our kids? So I'm asking you, we're in the big Gregory Reese Performing Arts this time, worked it out, to come out and talk to the candidates and hear what they have to say. Your children's futures are in their hands. They set policy, just like we legislate and appropriate up here. So you have to be engaged. How can you not be engaged? That blows my mind. How can you not be? This is your city. It's unique. 3.1 miles. John D. Rockefeller lived here at one time. He used to ride his horse in stables right up at Forest Hill Park. You see this and you don't do anything, and you wait for someone to do what you have to do for yourself? Malcolm talked about self-determination. It's on us. Look at Joe Jenkins. Articulate, focused. Well, there's a bunch of Joe Jenkins getting ready to come through the school system. We have to do our part. The little bit that we can do. Like Miss Stanford, we can do it. You don't have to have a degree to do this. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to go to law school, Joe. It's on us. Do we believe? We read this Bible, we talk about Christ all the time. It's on us.
Doctor, got it.
So let it be written, so let it be told I've spoken. Thank you. Thank you.
I guess I don't have to say nothing but good night, huh? It's the diversity of counsel that makes us strong if we work together. His passion comes out in volume, and my passion comes out in action. I'm not saying that you don't, because you always out there on the street too. But I think the intent up here is everybody wants to see the city move forward. We question the leadership or management style of the leadership. But I think that we need to really sit back and take a moment and really think over the next few weeks. The city can't continue to function without having any money to the way it used to be. The residents have to sit back and take a whole hard look and say, we need to increase our taxes, but with new management as well. But those are the thoughts that we have to think about, because we can't keep running the city on what we got right now, because we're going to lose a lot more services. So, I'm not for the merger, but I'm for whatever it's going to take to provide the quality services that the residents deserve in the city. That's the bottom line. And I don't want to hold nobody else any later than this, but I'd like to have a motion on the adjournment.
Mr. Chairman, I move that this meeting be adjourned.
I will second that.
We move second. All in favor, aye?
Aye. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, man. Deep down.